This is Jack,
And this is Spencer, and we made Reclaim Coaching.
today we're going over
Misconception.
misconceptions, widely known misconceptions within fitness, specifically starting out with trans related fitness
Starting out with
stuff.
trans.
So the first one is that trans people need certain exercises and workouts.
Now, this one I feel like has become a very popular one talked about. I obviously is not true. People kind of see trans workouts or, hey, trans people, do these workouts or masculine workout, feminine workout, and they start thinking these specific exercises is the ones you have to do in order to get it. Now, yes, there's exercises that help you build those specific, physiques you're wanting to get. For example, the V taper, as you know, you've probably heard us talk about wide back, broad shoulders, things like that. That doesn't mean one, you need to skip exercises for other muscle groups. That also doesn't mean two, that only lat raises is the only, exercise you need to do. That doesn't mean this specific shoulder press is the only shoulder press you need to do. It's not specific, okay? As long as you're training the muscle groups and you're training all of them balanced as well, that is what we're referring to. Your body isn't different. Everybody's a human being. That's literally all it is. When it comes to, let's start off your shoulders, right? Like we just said, when it comes to getting those broad shoulders, you're doing lat raises. First of all, you want to be doing higher reps because obviously the higher the reps, it's easier to control your form. So when it comes to lat raises, you could do those 3 times a week. I like to throw them into leg days, for example, to be able to incorporate them more throughout my week. So I'll do them on a push day, I'll do them on an upper day, and I'll also do them on a leg day. And by incorporating them 3 times a week, you're doing that emphasis while you're still training everything else, probably 2 times a week. You're getting that extra emphasis on those shoulders, and that can apply to anything. Same going for the back. You could be doing the same thing, throwing a little bit of extra rows maybe on a random day, just by slightly throwing in extra stuff. Maybe it's even, you normally do 2 sets of everything, make it specifically 3 sets for that specific exercise every so often. Just those little implements is what we mean by emphasizing. And same would be going for feminine. If you're wanting to emphasize on the glutes, RDLs or hip thrust, you can throw in that extra set or general extra exercise into a different day. Just as long as you're not overdoing it and pushing yourself too hard, if you're too sore. Otherwise, that's just those little things like that is what over time builds that physique that you're really trying to obtain. Now, the next one that we're jumping into is really going to be thinking that you can lose all your chest fat or in general breast tissue from chest workouts or the gym alone.
So this is false, okay? So breast tissue is still fat tissue. So the best way to lose breast tissue, depending on your genetics, of course, is a calorie deficit. So this is going to be either taking calories away from your intake of calories or burning those calories. But either way, you have to be in some type of deficit, as well as, of course, it does depend on your genetics. Some people do hold more fat in their breasts. Some people hold it more in their legs. It just depends on where your genetics take from and where they give. So being on testosterone will help with that fat.
What is the fucking word?
Bro. What if I just point at you and you say the word and then we continue? So testosterone can change your fat
Redistribution,
making it so you can lose breast tissue. With that means that the fat from your breast, the fat from your but that's it. That's it. That's it. Testosterone gives you muscle, just like without working out.
Wrong. I also thought that testosterone was going to give me muscle. And I thought, man, I don't got to start working out. T's going to do that for me. And then I can just be confident going into the gym because I already have muscle. But no, I started taking T, and that's when I started working out because after a few months of being on T, I was like, man, I look the exact same. Nothing happened. I'm still 95 pounds. Now, of course, maybe I gained a couple pounds just from starting T because you're also prone to eating more because that appetite's going to shoot up once you start taking T. T's not going to just magically give you muscle. Okay, you're not taking steroids, you're not taking gear. This is a natural hormone you're taking, so you're still going to need to work out. You're still going to need to eat protein, eating a calorie surplus if you're looking to build muscle, starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if you were starting off on the more overweight side, you would want to be more in a calorie deficit. But, T's not going to magically help you lose weight either. Either way, you're really going to still have to put in that effort. Whether it's the calorie deficit, calorie surplus, training is required to build muscle. Testosterone is not going to do that for you. Next up, we got leg day, skipping leg day overall.
Yes, so really common within cis men, of course, and trans men. Okay, I get it. I was there. I skipped leg day 2 for like a year to 2 years, but legs are the foundation of your physique. You're not going to be able to lift strong if you have weak legs.
It is so important to make sure you're prioritizing your legs, not only for, the fact of leg drive or the fact of having, a foundation, but also just it's a masculine thing to have. When you're up there, maybe you want to be posing and looking at yourself. Maybe you just in general want to pass. Having strong legs that match that upper body is so important. We learned it the hard way.
We did.
Take it from us. Do not skip. It is so important to have an overall balanced physique.
And building an illusion of making your waist appear smaller. So obviously we say V taper because that's building a wide back, which makes your waist appear smaller, but also building the quads make your waist also appear smaller. All right, so the next one is spot fat reduce.
So the main important thing here is that you cannot just lose fat somewhere. Now the number one thing that we hear, especially from trans guys, is the hips, the love handles, right? For example, they're like, oh, if I do enough abs, then they're gonna go away, right? No, that's not how it works. We're circling back, calorie deficit, that's where it starts. You're gonna need that calorie deficit to burn off fat. Now you can do that by doing cardio even. It's not even like we're telling you, oh, you have to stop eating as much. You could literally just do enough cardio and still eat in that same amount and you'll be in a calorie deficit. The most important thing is just making sure that you're burning off more calories than you're eating overall, and that's including the amount that it takes to just even digest, okay? That's even burning calories, just day to day. Our easiest recommendation is always just a calorie calculator, giving yourself a good idea, starting off there, seeing where you're at, based off your lifestyle overall, how much you move around, and just overall how much you're eating, and tracking from there, getting just something to start with. That's always a great way to start off and just figure it out from there. That's definitely what I did when I was starting, and that definitely gave me a great base point because doing it by myself, I had no idea what I was doing. Next up, we have carbs are bad, fats are bad.
All right, so carbs are what energize your body. So about 30 minutes to an hour before your list, you're gonna want to ingest some carbs. This is gonna be what energizes you, gives you those good pumps, all that good shit. Honey, bananas, rice, pasta, potatoes, all those are good for you. They're good for your body. On your rest days, it is important to cut down a little bit on carbs, just compared to training days, but still keep those carbs in there. They're not making you fat. Fats are bad for you. Okay, if I hear another fats are not bad for you. Do you hear that? Fats are not bad for you. Fats are what regulate your hormones. And you're probably thinking, Spencer, I'm a trans man. I'm a trans woman. Why do I need fats? I'm injecting, hormones. They still need to be regulated. Have them in moderation. Of course, excessive amounts can be bad for you, but staying within that 50 to 80 grams is going to be very helpful to regulating your hormones. And if anything, I would say it's more important because you're trans to regulate your hormones than a cis person. I would say it's more important as a trans person than a cis person to regulate your hormones. So the next one is cardio kills gains and kind of like lack of variety in cardio.
Because apparently cardio is only on a treadmill. Wrong. Okay, first off, you know what my cardio is? Especially when I was first starting off, my cardio was just dance. Okay, my cardio was doing fun things. I was going to like trampoline parks. I was going to parkour places. I was doing things that were fun, but I was just moving my body. That is cardio. Doing this cardio is not killing your gains. Now, if you were doing only cardio and you were working out once a week, maybe, let's say, and then you're also not even eating that much nutrients, okay, maybe the cardio is really, killing you. Okay, if you're weightlifting multiple times a week, you're doing your average amount of cardio, every day, getting in a good amount of steps, and you're eating enough to fuel your body, cardio is not killing anything. It's only people, like when you're considering those runners, those athletes, those marathon runners that are running so much and they sometimes don't eat enough to make up for it. That's when the cardio, you see it affect their gains. Literally the only time that happens. So for you, the average person, not gonna be an issue. Just start moving your body, doing whatever you want to do. It does not have to be the Stairmaster. It does not have to be the treadmill. It doesn't have to. It can be. It doesn't have to be. Next up, we have high reps and low weight. Apparently, equals toned.
So toning your body is making your muscles appear. All right, we can all agree on that. So the way you're gonna make your muscles appear is by building muscle and losing fat. A body recomposition. Okay, also known as that. You know how you're gonna do that body composition? Calorie deficit, all right? Burning calories or taking them out of your macros, either or both, all right? and strength training. And you're gonna want to do high weight, low volume. All right, so usually about a 6 to 10 rep range, and making sure you progressive overload each week. So this is going to be either increasing the amount of reps you did last week or increasing the weight that you did the previous week as well. But either way, tracking what weight you do for how many reps you do. Most important one on this list, diet soda is bad.
Okay, we're denying this because we're avid diet soda drinkers.
I just had a Coke Zero.
We've had a lot of diet soda in our lives. We continue to do so. Now, a lot of people's misconception is that they think it's super bad for you in terms of health. Not so much, in the gains aspect, but they just think that, it's going to give you cancer. It's, just in general has no benefit. But realistically, all those studies that have been done on aspartame, for example, since that's the main drive in the sweetener, you need so much aspartame for it to be detrimental. Now, yes, even little bits, over time, building up. If you're having like a couple diet sodas a week, even, once a week, whatever it is, like, that is not going to be bad even in the long run. You're fine. So many other things in life are going to probably have that chance of giving you cancer that's way higher on the list than your diet soda intake. So unless you're drinking like 2 cases of diet soda every single day, I think you're okay. Like me personally, I love a Diet Dr. Pepper, bro. I drink that all the time. And this is going for every diet soda, by the way. This isn't just us talking about specific ones. Like literally any diet soda, you will be fine. We love it. It is such a good way to especially curb a sweet tooth. Like, I have such a bad sweet tooth. So having a little diet soda with me with a meal makes it so much more enjoyable for me and overall staying on track.
I actually saw a video where it says that you would die of overhydration before aspartame would kill you.
Oh my God.
Little fun fact.
There you go. Let us know if you want to see a part 2 like this. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, click that bell. You know what it is.
Hard watch.
Thank you guys for sticking around. We love you.